Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you've been here before. We're going to start with City Lips. This is Los Angel Lips, and it is a lip plumper, but we're using it just instead of a lip balm. I'm excited about this video because we are intentionally trying to dupe the Lethal Cosmetics Avatar, The Last Airbender Air Palette. So that's what, no, the water palette, the blue monochromatic one. And the other looks that I did that I labeled as dupes. Full disclosure, it was an afterthought because when I looked at the palettes and looked at the looks, I'm like, this looks like this can be a possible dupe, or at least dupe the vibes of that palette. And so those videos were done, you know, a little bit ago. But anyway, so this one is intentional, that we're trying to dupe the water palette. And I'm working out of 3 different palettes. The first one is going to be Teresa is Lethal, because we're going for the blues. And this palette, which is Night Flower palette, because this has this blue, this, and this grayish tone. And I'm going to pop up a picture over here of what, not over here, up here, of what the water palette looks like. And this one, because it has this rich blue in it, and we might dip into this shade here. So that is what we're doing, because I'm struggling less, but I am still struggling because Lethal works for me and the palettes are wonderful. The packaging, like everything is just like telling me to buy it. And I'm trying to be realistic with, with what I have, and if I can dupe the vibes, because I don't like to have dupes in my collection, either within the brand or across brands. And so I'm going to tell you what's on my face, and then we're going to prime the eyes, and then get into this look. So we have on the Fenty foundation, the Fenty primer. I wear shade 335. We have on Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Break Concealer, and we only have this area here. We do not have it under our eyes. And we set our face with the Fashion Fair Set It Loose powder and Truly Tawny. We use the Sigma bronzer, matte bronzer in dark. This was gifted to me by Grace. This is a Sigma blush, and the shade is Bronze Star. And then we used a MAC highlighter that I found at Marshall's, and this is Double Gleam, and it is an Extreme Dimension skin finish. And so this is what we use for our highlighter. So this right here, that's this one. And then we took, because I'm still playing around with it, and I really like what I did with it today, the House Labs Raw Amber Highlighter. And I've used it twice, and both times, it was just like, whew. And so I just dusted it right here. So this extra glow that you see over the bronzer here and the blush here, that is this. And it just adds like just that subtle sheen that's like, it's a wet look. And I put a little bit here and a little bit here. And then we took Hourglass Radiant Light, and I didn't want to cover up Raw Amber. That was not Raw Amber. That was Raw Amber. Oh, damn. I meant to use Chocolate Opal. Damn it. Okay, yeah. And so then we took Radiant Light, and because I didn't want to cover all of that up, we only put Radiant Light like right here, here, and like right here and right here, and that was it. I really meant to pick up, damn it, Chocolate Opal. So you know what we're going to do, and then we put for lower lash line and our upper and lower inner rims, we use Matte Color Excess Sick Tap Brow, and for brows, of course, is the Fenty Brow MVP, and we did spray the face with the Scandinavia spray, the bridal formula. So we're going to take Chocolate Opal. This is Chocolate Opal, and we're all going to take a clean brush. Tag on, y'all. I really was so we're going to dip this in here. This is actually Grace that sent me this too. This is a Sigma brush. So we're just going to pick a little bit up, and we're going to start here, and we're just going to just swirl it. So you see, so this is without it, and it does pick up very easy, and it does go dark quick on me. So you see this though, it's just like, oh my gosh. And so you see how it's just a little bit darker, but it's not really dark. And I am just tapping it, and and I learned to start back here, because when I was starting here as a blush, it just really got out of control. So damn, look at that. Wow. So this is Chocolate Opal highlighter from House Labs, and this is what it looks like on me. So for me, a fluffy brush, start in the back and bring it forward instead of starting here and going back like I did before. And then whatever's left in the brush, you know, just coming up here with it. So I am digging it. I am seriously digging it. So that is everything that's on my face. I have everything pulled out. I'm not, I don't know if I'm going to hold up. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold up the palettes as we do them. So this video is going to be kind of long because picking up and putting down 3 palettes or not. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to prime the eye. I'm excited because this one is intentional. The other ones was like, wow, that looks like it could be. So we're really trying here, and I'm really just trying to talk myself out of purchasing. And at this point, the only ones that would be unique to my collection would be air and water. And I don't have, even though I have blues, I don't have like a blue palette, which I never wanted a blue palette. And then they're only $29. And even though $29, you know, it does add up. You know, I'm thinking about the Martine Cosmetics when they did that shark palette, which was primarily a blue palette, but it cost a lot more. And I'm like, I didn't want all those blues, but for this to be a 9-pan palette and for it to just be monochromatic, I'm like, I could work with that. And for the price. And air, even though I don't gravitate towards the lighter tones, they do serve a purpose, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation because sometimes I say I'm going to do the intro and then I start talking about other stuff. The crazy though is just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain tool or a certain technique or a particular brand. Use whatever you want to use, however you want to use it, to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, not because we feel like we have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look. That's what we stand for here. Owning who you are, being your authentic self, and just rocking it, and knowing that you are the bomb with or without makeup on. So I hope that resonates with you. That's what we stand for here. And I already did it earlier. If you're new, I do curse sometimes because I curse sometimes, period. And there is an organism that lives in my throat that already made an appearance that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I do always say, excuse me. So that is the intro. That's what we stand for. That's why we're here. And we're going to get into this look. So and honestly, at this point, I feel like I want to purchase something because of FOMO, fear of missing out, but I really don't need any of these shades. I'm going to go outward, inward, dark to light, even though usually when I work with metallics and shimmers, I start from the inside out. And so I'm kind of wondering, like, yeah, let's just do what we were going to do. So this is it doesn't have a name. This is a BYOP. We're going to take this deep blue shade because it does look to be a deep blue in the water palette. And this is actually called Nightshade. And so we're going to put this on the outer corner. We're using a Fenty 230 brush and it's already stained. And so that's why I'm using this one with this dark color, because the ones that are less stained, I want them to stay less stained as long as possible. And so for lighter shades, I'll use the less stained Fenty 230 brushes. But for dark shadows, I will just take one of the ones that's like severely stained. And I have been looking for brushes this shape and size because I don't want to repurchase these and I've had them for years. And so after a few years, they're going to be stained too. And I don't want to keep just buying brushes because I don't like how they look. But they still perform like very well. And so I'm not, you know, tripping over it. But it's just like, you know, I feel like one day I will just be like, I'm done with these. But I kind of don't think so because they do function well. They work really well. They're not shedding or anything. So it's not, you know, replace them before, you know, they fall apart. It's just, I just don't like looking at them. But then, however, I know what brushes to use for dark saturated shadows. So that's just a me thing. I want things to look nice and pretty and clean, even though they aren't clean, but they're stained. So how clean is it if it's stained? Right. So this is what we're doing here, and I'm wondering if I want to take this further in, and I think we are. We have quite a few shades that we're putting on the lid. One thing I don't have is it looks to be a matte white in that palette, and I don't have a matte white, but we do have a shade lighter than this one that I could just do for brow bone, and so that might be what I do. I'm not sure yet if we'll even put anything up by the brow bone, and so it's going to be an interesting look. And I really had a thought, like, just don't get anything because I have the tones, I have the stuff that's similar, and so I'm really just like, and so I am still struggling because part of me is like, just buy all the palettes, and part of me is like, just get air and water because those would be most unique, even though I don't gravitate towards the air shades, the lighter tones. And even if I did, I already have lighter tones, and I did a video that I'll link below in the iCards of looks that I've done, and I put it with the avatar palette that it could possibly dupe a look for, and that was to show me and to show you that you might have those tones. And so and makeup is not a necessity, but the want and the desire can be very strong. And so I don't know, like when I wake up on launch day, well, I'll still be up because I'm nocturnal. I will probably still be awake when it launches, so I really don't know right now like what I'm going to do, because at first I thought I'll get them all, and then I thought I'll just get a few, and then I'm like, don't get any, but then still get something, and then I keep thinking, just keep doing dupe videos. You know what I mean? But once it launches, it's going to be all the rave, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to take a shade from Night Flower palette, and this shade is called Night Long. This shade, and these do look like those shades. Why am I stuttering? Let me keep this brush out in case I want to go back and like tap up here to blend. And this is one that's stained as well. I didn't put any shadow on there yet, so we're going to go into Night Long, and we're going to put this next to it. And it is a very monochromatic palette. Water is a very monochromatic palette, and from the PR pictures, the only looks that were not monochromatic for any of the palettes were the looks where people combined, you know, 2 or 3 of the palettes. Other than that, it was a blue look, a green look, an ethereal look for air, a reddish look for fire. And I'm like, we can do monochromatic looks. We don't need to buy a palette to do a monochromatic look of any color. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking at that like, you know, let's do something different. But because we're duping air, we are going to do a blue monochromatic look. And I'm not wired towards monochromatic looks, though they are pretty, and it's hard to mess up on them because all the shadows will just blend into each other because they're all in the same exact color family. So that is what we're doing today. I like this shade. This blue is nice. And so I will surprise myself if I don't get anything. And I honestly don't think I would feel like I was missing out, because if you saw that video, you know I can dupe the vibes. And if you haven't seen it, you can check it out because it'll be down below the description bar, and it'll be linked in the description box. So I will not at all feel like I'm missing out. The packaging though, the packaging. I will say, if you just want the sponge, get it, but don't use it, because they say replace your sponges every 3 months. And so once you use it, it's going to end up in the trash after a few months. But I can see some people getting it just to have it and not using it. You know what I mean? Because I would, if I was a collector and really an avatar, I would want to get it and keep it indefinitely. Well, until it, like, something happened to it, like it got lost or something. But I wouldn't even use it, because then after a while you're going to have to get rid of it. Now we're going to take, still in the Night Flower palette, we're going to take this shade right here, and that shade is called Aurora, and we're going to put that next to Night Long. So that's going to go here. Ooh, this is less blue than I thought. Oh, and you know, now that I'm looking at this shade from Teresa is Lethal, that looks to have like a pinky shift to it, so that'll be interesting. This is still pretty though. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I know I'm all so I still don't know. So let me know your thoughts. I think I'm gonna double up this video. I think I have a video from Lethal, well, with the Lethal palette airing the morning of launch. And so I do just kind of want to get these out before launch because I want you to really think about what you have and if you can dupe it. And if you can dupe it and you still just want to get them, that's fine too. I understand the struggle, believe me, because I'm still unsure of what I'm going to do. Yeah. Yeah, this is more green than I thought. Wow, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Oh, this is an Esom V27 brush. So this shade that we're putting on now, that is this. And so it's looking a little more greenish, this shade, to me than it looks in the palette. So I was kind of thrown off by that, but I think it's pretty, and this is a pretty look. And one thing about Lethal, their shades do be shifting, so so I shouldn't even be surprised. We're bringing this further in, and we're bringing this further in because this looks like it just cuts off straight. So we're going to just kind of blend it over, just to kind of have a blend going for our last shade. This is one of the few times I think I've done outward, inward, and put the metallics and shimmers last. And so I'm like, I don't know what's happening to me today. I don't know. So the last shade we're going to take from this No Name palette. I'm kind of thinking to take, no, Teresa's Lethal. I took that too far over because we were going to put it, you know, we'll put that on lower lash line, I think. Teresa's Lethal, we're going to take Space Trash. And this is the one that looks to have like some pinky purple in it. And so I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. And this is a clean Esom V27 brush. Yeah, it does have some pinky purple in it. That's nice because this shade breaks up this one and this one. Oh my gosh. So it's like a mistake halo spotlight eye. Wow. So even though it looks blue in a pan, again, that's this shade. It has a purple tint to it. I really like this look. I'm gonna have to remember this and write this down. I really like this. So this green, even though it was blue in the palette, breaks up this from that, because I do think this, even though it has a purple tint to it, it would have blended into this shade. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is what I think we were going to do with this. Let me do lower lash line first. The lower lash line, we're going to take a brown. This is not as deep as the brown that is in the water palette, and this is Willow. We're going to put this on our lower lash line. So again, I'm going to pop up a picture just so you can see, like, is this look really dupeable for this palette, for the water palette? And so as you're looking at the picture, you know, comment below and let me know. Oh, this is nice. Let me know if you think this could dupe for that. This is really pretty. And I realized in one of the other videos, the one when I was showing different looks with the different Lethal palettes I have, I kept saying air and saying because of the blues. And I realized when I was watching the video, I meant to say water. So even when I edited the video, I didn't think of, okay, I keep saying air, but I'm talking about blues. And I think because when we look up, the sky is blue. You know what I'm saying? So I was just confused, because it does make sense that I would say sky because sky is blue, but yet thinking about the palettes, the blue one is the water. Even though they say the water reflects off the sky, but when you look at water in a glass or from your faucet, water's clear. So, so I don't know. So that is that. So let me know. I really like this look. So I think we're still going to go back to Teresa's Lethal, because I want you to see if you do have this palette. And with the other look I showed you in the previous video, you can dupe some of the air and water palette looks with this palette. So we're going to take Space Trash, this shade here. That is not Space Trash. This was space trash. This is TV dinner, and I should know that. And we also have a similar shade, which is Overdrive, in this palette. So we have those tones. I have those tones, y'all. And I'm not going to put anything under my brow bone. I'm going to just leave that like it is. And I'm liking it how it is. And so this will be the last shade, Space Trash. Excuse me for that glare. And we're just going to, this is a chunky shade. And so we're just going to just put it right here. And that's going to be it. That is going to be it. Just right here, my tear duct area, which I seldom do. But just to have another shade that I really feel like dupes or possibly dupes something in that palette, in the air palette. And maybe this is more water. Did I say we were duping water or air? Y'all know what I mean, even if I don't, because I'm confusing myself now, to be honest with you. I think we were duping water. Yeah, we were duping the water palette because of the blues. And it did have like a silvery shade in there. I have a bump right here, and so I never like how when I put something bright there, it just makes it protrude. And so we're going to go back with the brush that had that brown, and we're just going to try and just tone that down. And even over here. Yeah. So I look a little sick, my under eye area being mostly brown. Putting this brush away we didn't use for our transition area. So that is it for the look. And we're going to take, excuse me, I did not realize this. I knew it was a this is a lethal eyeliner. It came in a mystery bag, and it didn't click for me till now that we're using lethal shadows with a lethal liner, because I was just thinking of the color, which is this, and I was wanting something that was going to show up against the shades we were using. So I'm like, So this is what that looks like, and this is a MAC 210 brush. And so we're going to swirl the brush in here, and we're going to do our upper lash line. So do let me know, can this dupe the vibes of water? I think so, because the blues stand out, even the shadows that are shifty, like how this one has like a lavender tint to it, it still looks blue. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm wondering now, like, did I just get caught up in the hype, or, and I don't think I got caught up in the hype. I think it was like, oh, lethal works for me. The palettes look amazing. The IP collab is amazing. The packaging is amazing. The shadows work for me. The shifts are pretty. But even when I first saw them, I mentioned it in that the video where I showed possible dupe looks and the palettes that I used to get those looks, that the only one from their video, their reveal video, that caught my eye was Earth. And I have plenty of greens. And then, you know, I didn't, you know, Fire didn't catch my eye because I don't gravitate towards those orange red tones, and I do have those. And so that's what led me on that, you know, hour-long journey of looking through my palettes, looking through my gallery. And I'm like, I'm gonna just do a video, you know, to help myself and hopefully, you know, to help you all who do have quite a bit of single shadows. And all of the palettes I showed, some of them were pre-made. So if you have, you know, Night Flower, what was the other one? Velvet Dusk, Teresa's Lethal, you know, you can do some of those shades. And so I might end up doing a video of why I didn't get the palettes and showing you the palettes I have, because I have a ton of friggin' greens. When I look through my green palettes, when I look through my gallery for my green palettes, I'm like, I can't justify getting Earth. Now, if somebody sends it to me, I'll be more than happy to have it, but I cannot justify buying the Earth palette. Like, I cannot. And that's the one that caught my eye first because of those greens and those mustard tones. We're going to put on the Queen Luzia. It's just, yeah, I just have way too many green palettes. And I think I did a video before showing my green palettes. Oh, I received a shipment notification for a red palette that I purchased. And it's from, I'm not going to say, I'll just show it when I get it and do face swatches. I'm excited. I ordered it, I think, March 23rd. I just received the shipment notification this week. Today is May 27th, and I received the shipment notification, I think, yesterday. And I did receive an email like when it was when it was pulled for fulfillment, well, pulled for processing, and then pulled for awaiting processing, something. But I'm just like, and so even though that is a primarily red palette, and I already have red and, you know, burnt orange type tones in my lethal collection alone, like, do I need the fire palette? And I don't think it's a need, but y'all know what I mean. It wouldn't be unique to my collection. And so that's what's been helping me, is the time between when they revealed the collection and now, because I've really been going through, like, what do I have already, knowing that I don't like dupes in my collection. And so this interim has really been helping me. We're not going to wipe any of this off because it is a little bit tacky, not bothersome though. And we're going to top it with, I think this is a lip gloss. This is Juvia's Place Maroon, that fabulous 50ocity I gave me, and I think this will go with the look. I don't know. I thought to do I thought to do Sea Queen, but then I remembered that would look nice. I don't like how the Sephora cream lip stain liquid lipsticks fill over top of City Lips, and so that's why I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But we're going to see what happens with this, because this is a gloss. But I think anything would look nice with this, even a black. But we're just going to put this on, and it is a gloss. I've since found out this just smells weird to me. But Jasmine says they do smell fruity, but I don't really know if I'm smelling fruity. Like, I don't know what that smell is. And you see how one side is so dark and one side is really light. Like, that's freaky. So this is just look. So I'm going to pop up a picture again. So let me know if you think this will dupe water, or at least the vibes. You know what I mean? And yeah, I might just double up videos in a day just to have this out and to see what your thoughts are before they launch, because I am still just unsure. And part of me knows what I need to do, and the struggle is always knowing what you should do, but then you want to do something different. And that's where the conflict comes in at. Every time I blot, it just moves product, and then it looks a little patchy. So I'm just taking just a little bit from inside. I'm not putting the wand all the way in. This is not even. And that's another thing with the City Lips. I just made that really patchy. Like, it does grip whatever you put on it. I am putting it in and getting some more off, but it doesn't help it to move as it would if I didn't have City Lips under it. I think we're just going to leave this like this, because this is taking up too much time to do a lip, and y'all know it don't take me this long to do a lip. So this is the look that we have. I am digging it. I really do think this does dupe the water vibes. You let me know. Here we go. And these are the 3 palettes that we used. Night Flower, BYOP, and Teresa is Lethal. I'm going to try and hold these open for the screenshot. So we're just doing this right now just in case I'm not able to get a picture how I want to get it. But I just want to show still, you know, we did use 3 lethal palettes and we did this look. So thank you for bearing with me with that. And do really let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're getting from the collection, if anything. And that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. And lots of information down below. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon. I want to add really quick, after chatting with one of my friends about the joy of having everything in one palette versus using 3 palettes to get a water look. All of these palettes are removable. These have the pinholes in the back. All the BYOPs, they're removable. The avatar pins are removable. And even though Teresa is Lethal, it doesn't have the holes in the back. these are removable. And so if I wanted to do a blue look without having the water palette, I can just move the pans and put them into, I just took this out very easily. Now I'm struggling. Let me hold it flat because I just want to show you that even without the holes in the back, if you slip it in the side, the pan comes out. And so if you are like me and you don't like to palette hop, as I call it, because all of these pans are removable, and I do have an empty pan, you can just take, if you want to do a blue look, just pull out the shades and put them into an empty palette and take that with you to do your blue look. And so that can be an option too. And so I just wanted to come on and just share that really fast because I really don't like to go from palette to palette, but because these are all removable, and even Teresa's Lethal is removable, the only ones that are not is Berlin 89, I don't think, and I do know Jolena is not, and Midnight Serenade, they are not removable, but all of the other ones they are. So if you don't want to palette hop, but you have some of the BYOP shadows I showed you, and you have Teresa is Lethal, you can at least do water. And so that'll be it for this video, like seriously, and the struggle is real. You'll see me soon. Thanks.